And on a chilly February night, the city of Chicago hot with anticipation for tonight's marquee game.
Welcome, fans, to the All-Star Game. Let's back forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance. And now, at forward.
Greetings, everyone, from Chicago, the host to the 1988 All-Star Game. Alongside the terrific Clark Kellogg and our reporter David Aldridge on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this terrific city has produced some greats, and 4 of them playing tonight.
You're exactly right, Kevin. The Windy City, Chicago, has produced Mo Cheeks, Isaiah Thomas, Doc Rivers, and Mark Aguirre, all All-Stars, and I'm sure they've got plenty of family and friends in attendance to enjoy their performance on the court.
Yep, so much to celebrate. And Clark, is there a common thread when you think about a Chicago-type player?
Well, I certainly do believe there's a common thread. When playing outside or outdoors in the Windy City, the perimeter shot can easily get blown off course, so you got to be able to get that thing to the rack and in a straight line fashion, and that's something all Chicago players share in common.
A lot of high flyers, you're right. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside, and Dominique Wilkins with Larry Bird, the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
And a great job to get that angle on a tremendous drive. And an exhibition game with plenty of motivation for these stars nonetheless. For more, let's say hello to David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, I was talking to Larry Bird about his goals for the matchup, and he said, I think our job is to get the ball to Michael Jordan, get him into the game, and get the crowd into the game. So if Bird has anything to do with it, Michael Jordan will be the MVP. And that would be poetic justice this weekend. Guys, back to you.
Especially where we are. Well said, David. Thank you. Jordan Clark, obviously, in front of his hometown crowd. He loves it, and they really love it.
No doubt about it, Kevin. Think about the fans in Chicago. They love basketball. And I can expect, and you can too, a ton of energy, some extra adrenaline anytime Michael touches the ball.
Clark, this city is on fire with Jordan, aren't they? I mean, they love him, and they think about what's to come. My goodness.
Smoking.
Yeah. Clark, you see Larry and Magic together in those Converse ads. They've become really the faces of the NBA.
And, Kevin, I think they've inherited the mantle from the great Dr. J. He's done such a great job representing the league all these years, and certainly he's left it in good hands with those two.
And that's a great comparison. Best All-Stars shooting their first free throws of the evening. Free throw drops from Malone. And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday. Clark, can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch.
I'll tell you what, if you wanted the template for the perfect power forward, it might be Karl Malone. I mean, he's got everything you want in a format.
And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
The Tennessee Volunteers should be here. Wilkins, the pass to Jordan. Banked in off the glass. Jordan's got 6 points. And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right. Wow. And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smarts, but you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed, they do. So the timeout taken here, the first for the West All-Stars.
Falling behind in this one, needing a spark.
And the East All-Stars with some changes. Ewing comes in for Moses Malone. And it's Rivers in for Thomas. The West also making some changes. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Olajuwon. Worthy comes in for English. And Clyde Drexler has subbed in for Lever. Drexler right side. Here's Malone, and it's slammed in by Malone. Clark wide open, high scoring both ways.
These tremendous All-Stars are putting on a tremendous show, Kevin.
What a blast. And Kareem looking to set the career record for All-Star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you got to love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
Yeah. A good one.
Doc Rivers at the line for one.
A free throw drops for Rivers. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West All-Stars. 9-point game. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the most All-Star appearances by far in NBA history. Clark, an All-Star in every season of his career except one. And in that year, he was injured.
Yeah, and at 40 years of age, matter of fact, the youngest player tonight was only 4 years old when Kareem made his first All-Star appearance. That player, Brad Daugherty.
No kidding.
That's right.
Drexler against Rivers. Shot from 12. Drexler, no good. There's got to be some excitement, maybe even, Clark, some butterflies playing in the All-Star game. You want to prove you belong out there.
I agree with that, and there can also be the temptation to try to do a little too much, maybe get flashy, but with these players... getting a feel for each other in the flow. A lot to be said for making the simple play.
Nevertheless, a great honor. To the paint. No good from Abdul-Jabbar.
Man, I can't believe he blew that gimme, guys. Well, I know he's frustrated about that.
And Jordan gets it to go. Larkin, amidst this All-Star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
And if there's a rival for the size and athleticism of Michael Jordan, Clark, it might just be Clyde Drexler.
I don't think there's any question about it, Kevin. The Phi Slamma Jamma alum can take flight with the very best of them.
Yep, great athletes. 27 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And it's Dominique Wilkins with the foul.
Dominique.
That is his first foul of the game. And the East All-Stars making a change here. Gordy's checked in, and West also making a switch. McDaniels checked in for Malone. On defense, the East All-Stars, they lead by 11. Stolen by Wilkins. And not many out there who can elevate like Michael Jordan. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
Michael Jordan getting it done for the East. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points.
29. The West All-Stars.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home the win and the MVP hardware.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star Game.
The West trails by 13 on the court for the West All-Stars. We've got Worthy. Magic Johnson is out there with Lever. Then it's McDaniel. And it's Olajuwon in at the 5, roaming the paint. Johnson surveying the floor. 4 on the clock. Fades away. Olajuwon, no luck. How about that? Mike's a terrific friend of yours and mine, and Fratello's Hawks recently moved into first place in the East after the Cavs beat the Celtics. Clark enabling him to become the coach of the East All-Star.
So don't be surprised if the Cavs' Brad Daugherty gets extended minutes in his first All-Star appearance. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Wilkins kicks to Jordan. Shoots over Worthy, and it's Jordan. That time on the assist by Wilkins. Jordan's got 20 points. And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin, and you know, they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them.
From the high post, the West again cannot hit.
That's a quality shot right there. It just didn't fall for him.
And now let's go over to David Aldridge with a report on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Thank you, Kevin. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the oldest All-Star in history. This is his 17th game. No one else has been in more than 13. To put that into context, there were 6 players in yesterday's Legends game that were younger than Kareem. Magic Johnson says he respects Kareem more than anyone I know because of the pride this man has in whatever he does. Kevin, back to you.
He is a very proud individual. David, thank you. And Kareem's coming out here, Clark, after spending 2 days in bed with strep throat. I mean, it's remarkable.
And, Kevin, that's exactly the pride Magic was talking about, and that's why it seems like every game we do, Kareem is adding to some type of record that he's already established. Tonight, he could very well become the leading scorer in the history of the All-Star game.
Isn't that phenomenal? They call him captain for a reason. He is truly the leader of this entire NBA.
Yes, sir. And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and, you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
It's good.
He is certainly a dominant player. Michael Jordan, when he's in the zone, unstoppable.
Weaver is doubled. Here's McDaniel. Defended by Wilkins. Passes it to McDaniel. Worthy the screen. McDaniel the pass to Olajuwon. Olajuwon with incredible footwork for a big man. And Clark, when you look at Akeem Olajuwon's Houston Rockets, here is a team making a lot of moves.
I tell you what, their trades for Joe Barry Carroll and Sleepy Floyd paying huge dividends. They're certainly on the rise in my mind.
Yeah, a lot of people like those moves.
Michael Jordan using that strength of his to get into the defense to draw the foul on the way out.
And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
That's a good point. Malone misses.
No excuses, none. I mean, with the defense non-existent, I mean, he has to connect from there.
Jordan with it, picked up by Malone. The West trails by 21. Here's the lob to the hoop. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. McHale passes to Jordan. It's good. Jordan's got 32 points.
Hey, the defense has the right idea there, but Jordan has the skills to overcome the contact.
Timeout called here by the East. They're going to talk it over. We've seen Michael Jordan really having a great game.
Well, you know, he's destroying them right now, guys. This defense has to make an adjustment to try and cool him off.
Johnson finds Abdul-Jabbar. Back to Johnson. Bird against Aguirre. Pass to Drexler. 5 on the clock. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. And Kareem, the elder statesman. 19 years in the NBA. Decades of dominance. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
Getting plenty of lift on that jumper. Michael Jordan, a premier shooter, and that wasn't always the case.
Clyde Drexler on the wing. Thomas covering. Drexler against the bucket.
And at 26 points per game, Drexler ranks 7th in the league in scoring. His Blazers playing catch-up with the Lakers, though. Their improved defense has helped them overcome some early injuries.
Jordan can't get it to go. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West All-Stars. Drexler. Some solid defense here from Malone. The East leading by 21. Jordan with it, picked up by Malone. A nice shot by Jordan.
I think Jordan could do this all day long. I mean, the mid-range area is a very comfortable area for him.
Johnson outside. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
West All-Stars ball.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
Magic Johnson. One shot.
And so he hits the technical free throw.
Well, pretty much the perfect point guard, if there is such a thing. Magic has incredible passing skills, great size, unbelievable vision, plus leadership qualities that make him CEO-like.
Spins. Drexler kicks to Johnson. Lets it go from the wing. It's hauled in by the East.
Wide open, and still, surprisingly, he wasn't able to cash in.
Jordan with the bucket.
Jordan doing a nice job leaking out slyly. Excellent in transition.
Johnson, the pass to Drexler. Here's Malone. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the East All-Stars, finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a... And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
Dominique Wilkins out there with Bird. Then it's Jordan. Then there's Thomas, and it's Malone in at the center, locking down the middle. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars. Olajuwon, good.
How about this list? Players who have never missed an All-Star game in their careers. Jerry West.
Michael Jordan now with 42 points, Clark. He has tied the record for scoring in an All-Star game.
A piece of history. Boy, is he special.
And of the players in tonight's All-Star game, Clark, 2 have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
And the East with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
And it's a new single-game record in scoring for the All-Star game, set right in front of us by Michael Jordan.
What an incredible athlete, Kevin, and it seems whatever he sets his mind to do, he can do it. Impressive.
Oh, glad we got a chance to check out that fantastic drive one more time. English dishes to Olajuwon. Good. Great play by English to set it up. Olajuwon's got 6 points in the quarter.
You know, right now, I don't know if there's anybody better than Hakeem. Oh, my goodness. Come on now. And the high-flying antics of Jordan, simply awesome.
So it's the West now. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Lever is doubled. On the wing, Malone. Now the pass to Lever. Baseline J on the way. Rebound, Malone. Looking to keep it rolling.
Stay on the attack and keep playing the right way.
He gets it in there. Jordan's got 48.
And when Jordan is in rhythm now, his pull-up game, deadly. Shoots it with such confidence. You know, there's been talk about adding a third referee to NBA games. The commissioner and the rules committee are in favor of it. And they plan to put it before the Board of Governors at the next meeting.
And that one drops for him.
No defense for that now. I mean, Jordan's just too fast.
Pass to Olajuwon. The West again cannot hit.
Boy, he knows he should have knocked that one down, especially with the defense not giving much of an effort.
And Clark, with 3 officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball? They can pick up a lot more, certainly with more guys out there.
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the third official, but over time it'll smooth itself out. Off the ball, you know, some things you could get away with in the past, maybe not so much with 3 officials out there.
A big group substitution here for the East. Doherty's checked in for Malone. Ewing comes in for Bird. Danny Ainge is checked in for Wilkins. And it's Rivers in for Isaiah Thomas. And both free throws good for Jordan.
And, you know, most of these guys are accustomed to having their team's offense built around them. It's an adjustment for them now to figure out who's going to get the rock most of the time.
To stop the run. And he overshot that one, missing. And here are the East All-Stars. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Count the basket.
And, you know, their lead just continues to grow, and it's not just because of their offense. They're getting it done at both ends.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West All-Stars. And you think about it, Justin Clark, how about the All-Star reserves? Guys that start normally are the stars of their team, now off the bench on a team of stars.
Kevin, excellent point. For players who are used to starting the game, probably a rare experience coming in off the bench and trying to get it going. But I think these guys so enjoy being part of this, that sacrifice is not much at all.
You're exactly right. And Clark, a slow start, but Michael Jordan is beginning now to get some momentum and heating up.
And the fans starting to take notice. They're feeling it a little bit, making some noise. They're certainly hoping he can make it happen.
Catching up on changes for the West. Donaldson comes in for Malone. And Clyde Drexler has subbed in for Johnson. And Olajuwon drops them both.
What Akeem provides for his team is a rock-solid foundation. They can rely on him on both ends and build schemes around his talents.
Jordan is doubled over English. The East All-Stars check on 2 more.
Hey, it's as plain as pound cake. Keep it simple. They want to see how big this league can get.
Passes it to Donaldson. Right wing. Some nice passing here by the West. Drexler with it. Picked up by Rivers. Inside. Here's Olajuwon. And it's good. Assisting on the play was English. Olajuwon's got 14 points.
Boy, great body control that time by Olajuwon. Really hard to knock him off balance.
The East All-Stars check on 2 more.
Yep, he's their leading scorer in this game and has been the dominant figure today. No doubt about it.
He lobs it up. And English with the stuff.
You know, people said Alex English was too light of frame, too skinny, not athletic enough. Well, how about this? He's playing in his 7th straight All-Star game. So much for being too skinny.
Jordan. Olajuwon with the block.
Boy, Olajuwon is a ferocious defender and rim protector. Really excels at slapping shots away.
We've got 1:18 left in the third. And then English with the slam dunk.
Can you guys believe it? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Clark, that was special. Down low. Ewing against Olajuwon. Here's Jordan. And he comes up with the deuce. Jordan's got 60.
Really strong to the bucket there. They're draped all over him, and he still gets it done.
Lever taking his time here. Here's English, and it's blocked by Jordan. Over English. Ainge against Drexler. From deep, Jordan. And when the jump shot is fallen for Michael Jordan, what can you do? He is unstoppable. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Drexler kicks to Olajuwon, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Ewing.
It's on Patrick Ewing.
Boy, Hakeem's size makes him hard to match up against, especially when he's determined to score inside.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far. McHale's checked in for the East. Cheeks checks in for Rivers. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for the West. Aguirre comes in for English. And Olajuwon drops them both. And the East has possession. Pass to Jordan. Over Aguirre. And there's Michael Jordan, the assist by Ainge.
Good for about 1 per game. Ainge finds his open man easily there.
Lever outside. The feed now to Olajuwon. 1 second left.
You know, defensively, I think Ewing is one of the great intimidators. Certainly changed that shot.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. East All-Stars up on top, delivering the blowout. We're going to step aside for just a second, but welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
On the court for the West All-Stars, getting the fourth quarter going. Johnson is out there with Drexler. Then it's Olajuwon. Then it's Kareem. And it's Aguirre in at the small forward position.
You know, sometimes making it difficult for him to finish at the rim is all you can ask for from the defense.
Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are graped up pretty good.
The pass to Johnson. Tries from 16. That one falls.
Magic Johnson leads the league in assists, and he's also got the most assists in All-Star game history. He processes the game at another level, folks.
Down the stretch here, the East, Clark out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch. Entertaining from both sides.
Woo, it sure has been. Pass to Ainge. Outside, Jordan. And there it is for him.
Jordan's got a lot of flash to his game. A terrific guard, loves getting tricky with his ball handling and creating shots for himself.
Johnson double-teamed. Here's Olajuwon. And that comes off the assist by Abdul-Jabbar. Olajuwon's got 16 points here in the second half. Aguirre against Jordan. And a miss there on the triple. Jordan's gone 1 of 4 from distance. And Kareem will need to get it going, Clark, to reach double digits.
I think his teammates have to do a better job of getting him touches. Just keep feeding him. He's more than capable of getting there.
The shot's good from Jordan.
Gotta like how Jordan keeps his focus, not allowing the defense to get the better of him deep inside.
Passes it to Aguirre. Looking to get back on track here. Here's Olajuwon. Not going to go that time. So the East All-Stars will take it the other way. And they double up Jordan. Over Aguirre. The East All-Stars check on 2 more.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, He's a threat every time up the floor.
Johnson kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. Johnson against Ainge. Always going up for the alley-oop here. The vision of Magic Johnson is unsurpassed.
And enjoying his finest pro season, Clyde the Glide Drexler making his second All-Star appearance. Worked over the summer with Kiki Vandeweghe to substantially improve his jump shot.
Jordan, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Pretty good display of strength by Jordan there. Absorbed the contact and still able to nail the shot.
First team.
Jordy's checked in for the East. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Donaldson, he's checked in for Elijah. Worthy comes in for Abdul-Jabbar. McDaniels checked in for Aguirre. And it's English in for Clyde Drexler.
You know, the separator with Jordan from other guys is his drive. That's obvious in my mind. He wants to win more than most anybody else out there on the floor.
It's stolen. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter.
Magic Johnson in his 8th All-Star game now, second in All-Star votes this year, and he hosts his own All-Star game in the summer in L.A. as a fundraiser, and I understand it's quite an event.
He dishes it to Johnson. English looking around.
2 minutes.
Jordan against Johnson. Worthy trying to break free, and no good that time. And the East now will go the other way with it. Here's Jordan. That one falls, coming off McHale's feet. McHale's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. To the inside, and Donaldson gets it to go. And in his 8th season in the NBA, James Donaldson making Clark his first All-Star appearance.
And you know, Kevin, before his NBA career, he actually played his first professional season in Italy. So he's taking the path less traveled for sure.
He said, "Arrivederci" to Italy to come to the NBA.
Yes, he did.
And James Worthy here in Clark, his 3rd All-Star game.
Yeah, I was part of the '82 draft when Worthy was the #1 pick out of North Carolina. He can hurt you on the block as well as in transition.
So refresh our memories. He was #1. Where were you taken?
I was #8, Kevin.
That's right.
#8.
That's right. I knew that. I just wanted you to boast a little bit. Johnson, the pass to McDaniel. 55 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's Worthy missing. Now Jordan. He can't get that one to fall. Good work defensively by Worthy. English the pass to Johnson, and then Johnson with the dunk. And Magic Johnson, Clark, made it clear coming into this game that he wanted the challenge of defending the great Michael Jordan.
He certainly did, and the West as a team will certainly have their work cut out for him trying to slow that guy down.
That is going to be fun to watch. Johnson, the pass to English. 7-foot shot. Rebound by the East All-Stars. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Up top, Jordan, covered by Johnson. Outside, English. And the Eastern All-Stars deliver. The favorites coming in, but they did not disappoint.
Yeah, you looked at that team on paper and you saw they were the stronger team and should have been favored, but you still got to go out and prove it, and they did exactly that.
And so much scoring in that lineup for the East. My goodness, look at those names. That's always going to be tough to stop.
And you factor in the raucous crowd cheering on.